What's going on, guys? It's Kyle from Big Money Mindset. Pleased to bring you another video today. And this video, we're going to be going over what I believe is the #1 vaccine play stock in the entire industry right now. That includes travel, retail, restaurants, all of the above. And, I believe that's going to be Dave & Buster's. And I've been watching this stock for the past 4 months on my watch list. And this past 2 weeks, I came extremely close to purchasing this stock once it hits my price point. So we'll take a look at why I believe Dave & Buster's is going to be a great buy for the next year or so. This doesn't even have to be a long-term play. I believe it has quick recovery, and we're going to take a look into the fact. All right, guys. So Dave & Buster's is a very large company. They have 137 locations currently, and they have recently just opened about 12, this past year. So they are still expanding. This pandemic was just a little bit of a hiccup, delaying, what their business model was going to be looking like in the near future. So, the thing I like about Dave & Buster's is they are in the restaurant business, but they also are in the gaming industry, that people love to game, go out and have drinks and, play games with their buddies. I literally just looked on my Instagram and I had over like 4 friends at Dave & Buster's tonight. So people are still going to Dave & Buster's. Even though their revenue, was down about 50% this first quarter of 2020, that was literally the worst times we had for the entire year, They are predicting them to, get close to the revenue they had for 2019 by the next year, in 2020, when they predicted it's going to be like 90% of their revenue for 2019. So this is just a minor setback for Dave & Buster's, and I believe they do have a lot of opportunity, catering food, drinks, games, sports. NFL's returning, NBA, MLB. People love to go and have drinks and watch games together. No one just wants to sit in their house the entire time, and they're in a far better place than the travel industry, with all their regulations and foregoing sales, and as well as retail, are getting dominated by online retailers such as, Amazon and, other clothing brands. So I just feel like they have the easiest comeback ahead of them out of all these industries, including the airlines, which has massive requirements, regulations. Sales are plummeted to the ground, $10 tickets. So we'll take a look into some stats on Dave & Buster's, how they were doing before this pandemic hit. Key highlights from 2019 compared to 2018, literally last year. Total revenues increased by 9.5%. So, they were on track. They were growing their revenue almost $30 million, almost 10%. That was a good sign. 2020 could have been a, even bigger return into the 15% range. And we can take a look at their, financials for their company. Revenue increasing every year, a billion, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So they were literally, growing very rapidly. And, as you can see, their gross profit was doing solid as well. 596 million, 686 million, 748, almost 800. I mean, guys, this company knows how to make money. They were making crazy revenue increases, just this last year recently. And this first quarter, just tore them up, and it put the fear in everybody, like a lot of the other companies. But this company, has a lot of growth ahead of them. And, they just have so many different varieties to their business that people, enjoy. It's just a fun time. I have fun when I'm there, a couple of drinks in me and I'm on the little gaming basketball game. I think I'm Kobe Bryant, and then before I know it, $50 out of my pocket is gone because you don't even realize how much you're partying and having a great time. So, I do believe their business model, has a lot of room to growth. And we can take a look at one of these recent articles that they just did. The pandemic hit a few companies as hard as it hit Dave & Buster's Entertainment. The owner and operator of the entertainment and dining venues Consumers are unwilling to step into dining outlets as well as shying away from public entertainment venues because of high degree pandemic risk. If you are an investor or considering investing in Dave & Buster's, there are two questions you must ask. Can the demand bounce back? And if yes, how long may it take? That's exactly right, you know. That's all people are thinking about. And we'll take a look at the stock at the end. You know, that can give us some, you know, nice little statistics of what we can expect. But, you know, nobody knows how long this could happen. That's why, you know, I wanted it to die down, because I knew, you know, this was going to last a couple of months, this pandemic. And, you know, we're hitting about month 4 right now, I believe, about 5 months. So the thing is, they did get great liquidity, and, you know, they got cash now. At first, they didn't have cash going into the year because they were working so hard on expansion. They have over like $200 million in cash now. So they're going to be fine. They're already making sales. They have the revenue was down first quarter 50%, but it's still going up now. You know, obviously it's not going to be back to 100%, but at least 60-70% of what they were doing in 2019. So guys, they have cash, they have sales. They're not in a shutdown like the cruise lines, and, you know, they're not, you know, getting crazy restrictions like the airlines. So, you know, they're kind of, you know, a little bit loose as far as you know, their restaurant industry. They have people coming in. You know, it's going pretty solid for a pandemic right now. That's what you got to understand. So, demand and recovery in 2019, Dave & Buster's earned $100 million in net income on revenue base of $1.3 billion. In addition, it generated $289 million in free cash flow from operations and spent nearly $228 million in capital expenditures. However, 2020 could be very different. Dave & Buster's is sitting in the intersection of two of the most hardest hit industries, restaurant and outdoor entertainment. I completely agree with this. The demand for these is unlikely to bounce back anytime soon. This article was, you know, like 2 weeks ago, but they are, you know, doing pretty solid. I mean, it's not like restaurants are off limits. You know, people still want to go out and have a good time. Even now, you know, people have lost it after 5 months. So we consider two scenarios: revenue down for full year 30%, but Dave & Buster's cuts his capital expenditure in half to revenue down for full year 50%, with 70% capital expenditure cut. The second case may more likely in case of Dave & Buster's, given that it had to shut all of its outlets as the pandemic began to spread. The company's revenue fell 56% in the quarter ending May 3rd, 2020. Okay, so basically what they're saying is exactly what I was just saying. Best case scenario, they hit 70% of the revenue from 2019. Okay, 30% loss during these times. That's no bankruptcy, man. That's the company is still, you know, just setting up, you know, for next year. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, they still have opportunity even in these times. I mean, it's not like they're just plummeting to the ground. No one's going to Dave & Buster's. They're in tons of debt. I mean, they're doing solid, guys. I mean, we can take a look at their stock right now. And this stock has literally been a 40, 60, 70, 50, 60. Guys, this has been a 40 to 70, $45 to $70 stock for the past 5 years. I mean, even before this pandemic happened, they were about to make a leeway back to 50. I mean, we'll just say this is a solid $40 stock. We don't even have to say 50, 60, 70, even though that's what it has on top of expanding. So if we look at the last 3 months, this is where you want to really look at the chart. The last 3 months, Dave & Buster's bottom out around $9, okay? Hasn't touched that in about 3 months, okay? 8 or 9. Even during the pandemic, made a return all the way back to $20. You already know what this is. This is just CNN, news, you know, vaccine recovery, pandemic getting better, you know, stuff like that. You see how quick people react? Guys, this stock can blow up as soon as a vaccine comes out. I mean, blow up. I mean, it's been hovering, hovering about 12, 13 bucks, the past 2 months, okay? So the reason why I haven't bought is because I have a price target on this. It might not happen. I don't care if it doesn't happen, I see this as a nice little bounce play, 10 bucks, okay? If it hits 10 or 11 bucks again, I'm going to buy in, okay? There's no problem buying in the Dave & Buster's at 10 or $11, okay? Your risks are so limited for bankruptcy. It's very limited. Much more drop than that. I mean, this stock bottomed out at the worst possible day of the pandemic at $7. So 10 bucks, I mean, you are like golden. This is a $45 stock, guys. I mean, you know how easily you could triple your money on a 2-day notice of a vaccine? I mean, that's an easy triple to $30. Obviously, it might be hard for them to bounce back to 50, 60, 70, but guys, I mean, a easy bounce back, when the economy turns around. So that's just my, take on Dave & Buster's. I feel like they're at the top of retail, travel, airlines right now for sure, because they have so many different varieties to their business model. So all I wanted to do was just, give you guys a heads up on this video. I'm not saying go drop $5 at Dave & Buster's. Just put it on your watch list. Watch the stock. Watch the news. Just get different perspectives on what's happening. You got to stay on top of things like that. I just wanted to remind you guys because this one has fallen off. Everyone's so caught up in the spec plays, Every other day it's a new spec, So just remember, this company's been around for a while. They have solid business model. They're doing fine in the worst pandemic in the last couple of decades. So, that's it. I just wanted to, put this on your watch list, give you guys some perspectives on, opportunities out there. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I really appreciate it if you did watch this video all the way to the end. Drop me a comment on what you think of Dave & Buster's. And if you really enjoyed the video, give me a like and a subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And I'm going to keep giving you guys content, as soon as possible. So thank you again. And Big Money Mindset out.